Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. In this video, we're going to decide if I should keep my little electric smart car after owning it for 3 years. Also, take a look at this turning radius. You can just do circles anywhere and everywhere. It's one of the best parts about this car and why it's so great to bomb around the city. Let me take you on a quick tour. This is my 2017 or 18. Actually, I don't know. Let's take a look. It is a 2017 or maybe 2018. It was built in 10 of 17. Electric Smart for 2 Prime. That's the top spec leather seats. I think it was like $200 more than the Passion. Splurged on that one. And I got the best possible deal when I bought this car and leased it from Mercedes-Benz in Virginia somewhere, Tysinger Mercedes. Anyway, we were friends with the lady there who sold them. She gave me like a friends and family thing. If I did a one-pay lease, which I typically don't recommend, I didn't have to pay any interest. So it cost me like $4,700, including the 3 maintenance cycles, to run and own this car for 3 years. We've put about 15,000 miles on it. And for a year and a half, it stayed at our track in North Carolina. Didn't even really hit the streets at all, just kind of bombed around the facility. And now that we moved out here to Colorado, we brought it with us, of course, and we've sort of used it as like a family and friends loaner car. I really haven't driven it that much, especially during the winter, being a convertible. You know, I'd take out some of the 4-wheel drive stuff, and you know, this kind of sat around and friends were using it and families using it. So it's a useful car, but now my lease is up. And again, you know, I forgot about the $4,700 I spent on this thing 3 years ago. To me, it's pretty much a free car. Insurance, I don't know, just bakes in with all the other cars. And the question is, what should I do now? Should I buy it out or do I give it back to Mercedes? And I'd kind of like to hear what you guys think, because by the time this video goes live, I kind of have to make a decision in the next couple days if I'm going to keep my Smarty or get rid of it. You see, one of my life goals, this is actually my second electric smart car, was to have a smart car with a dumb license plate. Come on over here and take a look at this. I have the dumb plate. It's still registered in North Carolina. Technically, it's even expired. We really don't drive it. It just sits around. So, you know, if I decide to buy it out, it's actually a very reasonable price from Mercedes, my end of lease buyout. But then I got to, of course, pay tags, get it registered here in Colorado. It's insured, of course, but you know, that it's probably going to cost me, let's just say $15,000, something like this, to keep the car. It's a $30,000 sticker. I think it's like $29,800. And my overall cost on this car from new to buying it out after the lease would have been less than $18,000. I mean, to me, that just seems like one of the best deals ever. And so I think I'm going to keep it unless you guys say you don't want me to. Running through the specs really quick. Again, $29,000 new. Has a 17 to 18 kilowatt hour battery pack, a 60 kilowatt electric motor, rear wheel drive. Level 2 charging, 7 kilowatt, 7.7 kilowatt AC onboard charger, no J1772. No CCS, it has J1772, so no DC fast charging, which is fine. Honestly, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually charged this in the last 9 months, because I usually keep the battery, you know, between 20 and 80% for long-term storage. I try never to full charge this car, because then it would kind of just sit around full, which is not great for it. It usually, you know, battery's been well cared for. We keep it between 30 and 50% most of the time when we're not using it, which is what you want. Man, it's just so practical and fun though. Other specs, I guess, range, which is really way more range than we would ever need. I know it sounds crazy, but all these EV people are obsessed with having the most amount of range, 400, 500 miles. 51 miles right here is what I've achieved in a 70 mile per hour highway range test. Totally fine. I can get into Denver. I can get up to Cheyenne. If I need to, I probably won't ever have to. It never leaves our town of Fort Collins right here in Colorado. And it's just so great. Handles cold weather really well, handles hot weather really well. Climate control, you know, is fantastic. Battery thermal management's fantastic. We throw the dogs in it. And so overall, it's just a great small car. Doesn't take up that much space. I guess we could tow it behind our Winnebago Revel Sprinter van that we use to travel around if we need to. But I think if we do decide to keep it, you'll have to let me know, should we modify it? To me, I was always disappointed with the spec on this particular one. You know, I bought it more as a useful tool to bomb around to the city and, you know, make fun videos with, essentially. But I think I'm kind of tired of the design. What I want to do is wrap it, I think, sort of like a dark forest green, and then make the safety cage tan, and then get some nice chunky tires with maybe like a bronze wheel, or in Porsche speak, it would be satin Orem. I think that would make it kind of fun. So you guys tell me, if we decide to keep it, question one, should we keep it? Question two, if we keep it, should we kind of spice it up a little bit and take it off-roading? Because the surprising fact of this car is, and we've had it actually off-roading quite a bit, is it's pulled out a stuck Land Rover in the mud. It has such a short wheelbase, right? So if you get over an obstacle, you have almost no breakover angle. You could just like go up and over stuff, which is amazing. And it's cost me pretty much nothing to run. I mean, I haven't taken it to 2 service appointments. It's only been to 1. And I was like, it's electric, doesn't need it. There's a little battery filter you need to change out every year. I do that. It's got disc brakes up front with plenty of meat left on them. Drum brakes in the rear. You don't need any more. It's just like a good, reliable car. What do you say we jump in, go for a little drive, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what it's like to drive, because honestly, it's, I really think, one of my favorite cars I've ever owned. And now you join me and Appa. It's probably going to be just mostly Appa blocking the camera, going for a cruise in the smart car. And I figured this is, you know, I'd take you on how I normally use this car, or how we normally use this car. Good boy. And that is by having our very large dogs. We've had all 3 in here, and just kind of cruising around. There's plenty of space back there for stuff. It's actually extremely practical. In terms of driving the smart car, it drives surprisingly well. First off, the acceleration. You holding on, buddy? Look at that. Big acceleration, I know. And 60 kilowatts doesn't sound like much, but you have to keep in mind this weighs just about 2,000 pounds. So 90 horsepower instantly to move this thing is great. Oh, but you're blocking the camera. I know, you're very handsome. Whoa! This is pretty much Appa's video. He hasn't been in the car as much as the other dogs. Blue and Ellie really love this car and go in it most of the time. I'm still trying to get Appa used to it. Again, he was our foster failure that we just got, and just sit down, buddy. There you go. And, you know, you're just trying to get him used to the convertible and this car. It might be a little bit small for him, but this is how we use it. We go to Starbucks in the morning in this thing. We go out to dinner in it, and it's just an awesome little vehicle. So I'm leaning towards keeping it, unless all of you say no and buy something weird instead. But I think we can kind of modify this into something fun. This is one of the cars we started on the YouTube channel with. Just love that turning radius. It's so easy and comfortable to cruise around the city. And that's it. Just a quick video for you to let you know my 3 years has been amazing. It's pretty much cost me nothing. It's been very safe feeling, very practical. I know it's a small car, but the safety cage is strong. You just have to borrow someone else's crumple zone if you're going to be in an accident. If you have, you know, the choice between a Suburban and a tree, aim for the Suburban, because that'll at least buckle a little bit. And you know, the car itself is really strong, very practical, built unbelievably tough. You know, we've had this around the racetrack, we've had it off-roading like I mentioned, we've had it jumping, literally jumping around a motocross track, and it's taken the abuse. Everything works except the trunk's a little sticky to open it. I think I just need to clear some mud and dirt out of this thing. This thing's been in mud up over the windshield. Truly impressive machine. Can't say enough good things about this car. And it just goes to show, if you know, not everyone needs these 300-400 mile long range EVs to get around. I know, Appa, we're heading home. I know you're not comfortable. I don't think he likes the smart car so much. The other ones do. Then you know, just get something like this. You can get a first-gen electric smart car used for cheap for like $5 grand, $6 grand all day long. Although now with used cars coming up, I'm not quite sure. But 500e, smart electric. These are all the kind of cool cars in the US that are great city cars to do your commuting in and save the wear and tear and depreciation from your combustion vehicle, if that's the case. Thanks so much for watching another Auto Spec Reviews video. Let me know what I should do with this thing. And we're pulling back in, Appa. I know, this is a little bit too small of a car for you. Whoa, I know, rocky road. He's such a good dog, but new things still kind of scare him a bit, and new people especially. We're working on it. Slow introductions to everything. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.